Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to another 3v3 fastest map on StarCraft Brood Wars Remastered. I'm going to go ahead and jump into replay number 21 here today. 28-minute game, all Protoss and one Terran and no Red Corns. Let's go ahead and see what we've got in this one. Very interested to see. Some of these longer games have been kind of disappointing because they've either ended earlier than the time suggests or something weird happens that sort of extends the game in not a fun way. So, we'll see if this one can buck that trend. Let's look at team number one in the top left corner. We've got Jose Manuel, 1, 2, 3, 4, the brown Protoss. Right below him in the middle left is 01CR, the orange Protoss. And then across the way in the middle right is Mr. 0210, the blue Terran. So I believe everyone else is Protoss except for that one Terran that's blue. So yeah, so that's the lone Terran in this game. There's a lot of lone Terrans in 33 fastest map I found. So anyways, looking at team number 2 in the bottom right corner, we've got ER34, the red Protoss. All the way up in the top right corner is LOLOOL, the teal Protoss, and their last partner all the way in the bottom left corner, they are very spread out, is X the Legend Willie, the purple Protoss. So very spread out group with so many Protoss. You'd think you'd see a cannon rush, but I don't see anyone looking to do that. Brown very slow to get out their gateways. But it was because he wanted to get 6 up at a time. So he was really waiting to just put them all up at once. That's an interesting strategy. So we'll see what he does. He's going to have the most gateways here in a minute. Alright, here comes 3 gateways from teal. Blue getting their sort of classic setup with the double bunker wall in with some double barracks wall and the bunkers behind it. Red getting a few zealots out. He looks like he's headed somewhere. Purple, a couple of gateways with the forge up front, and then a couple of gateways here. This is a pretty standard looking setup from orange. I like the way they've got the cannons sort of spread out near the mineral line. You've got to do that if you are a Protoss player. Alright, so there is some positioning going on between red and brown. Brown now, again, a little bit slower to get his gateways up, but he is he does have 6 now. Alright, they are trying to get on the mineral line. He's not letting them. Good job by Brown. So some early posturing here. He's got the forge now. Might go ahead and build a few guys there. Okay, here comes teal to help out red. Looks like they might try to assault brown here. So there's going to be a big zealot battle coming up soon, as you would imagine from a very heavy Protoss game. And if I were them, I would really be trying to go after the Terran and not let them get started, because they're going to kind of be the difference maker with the tanks. Alright, so red's trying to figure out where to go and what to do. Purple coming with them. It looks like they're going to go and attack orange. He's got a decent amount of units, but he doesn't have much in the way of defense. Alright, so a lot of posturing. He's got a lot of cannons at his mineral line, so if they're thinking about going after the production, I don't think this is going to work. Alright, so purple trying to get in on the production, but he's not able to. Red also trying to sort of move in. Kind of just move commanding their guys to where they want the fight to be, but they're taking too much damage on the way in. Alright, so they're going after the cannons. I think the mixture of the cannons with the zealots should be enough to hold here. Here comes brown to help. Orange. Here comes blue to help. Oh man, this is a wild battle. Alright, so it looks like they're going to easily clean this up. He loses the cannons around his base, but he's still got 20 workers. Yeah, if I were him, I wouldn't be too concerned. He'd just immediately put those back up. He's got tons of zealots coming out of the gateways. They're getting gassed. The guy blue is looking pretty good early on. Getting Plenty of factories up. He's going to be a real menace in a little bit. Alright, in the meantime, let's just sort of check out where everyone is. Red has his gateways. Looks like he's starting to get some of the Templar archives, robotics facility. He's starting to get his tech up. So we're about at that 6-minute mark, so you're going to start to see some of those upgrades come in. So you've got Teal coming in with the speed, Zealot speed, and attack weapons for Orange, and Dragoons coming in. So Orange actually looking pretty good after that initial attack. Didn't lose too much and was starting to get himself going. We never did an APM check. As you looked, Red has the highest APM at the moment. Purple just hopped up over 100 there. A couple of them flirting with 100. Yeah, but not too many really, really high APMs that we're seeing. I would probably give the edge to team number 2 just because of what I'm seeing APM-wise, but team number 1 held very well in that beginning assault. Alright, he's got these gateways. He's not building anything with them now. He's getting a couple different nexuses. He does have a lot of units in the middle. Orange now has speed on his zealots. Here comes some tanks. He's getting missile turrets. Alright, so here come the shuttles, so drops might start happening now. Let's see if anyone else is getting drops ready. Looks like Red's going to be the one doing drops because of the Psy Storm coming in, so we'll keep an eye on him and what he's doing. You gotta love when you buy coffee and they give it to you lukewarm. It's always fun. So anyways, here comes this drop for Red. We'll just sort of keep our eyes on him right now where nothing else is really going on. Looks like Brown and Orange want to sort of take the middle with some cannons. So that would be a nice little take for them. As well as having Blue with the tanks. If he can move in with the tanks, that'd be really good. Alright, so Red has this drop pretty much prepared. I don't know if he's waiting for another Templar or what he's waiting for. It's going to be hard to drop on Blue. I think he's done a pretty good job defending. You're not just going to be able to sneak in with that drop. Yeah, that gets destroyed. And that tank is there to stop that Templar from getting the storm. Beautifully done by Blue to stop that. And now that he knows that that's where they're coming from, I think he's going to be even more difficult to stop. Really nice job. Alright, now he's got a Vulture out. We've seen a lot of Vultures in games recently. He's got tanks. This team number 1 is looking pretty dangerous. Unless we start seeing drops from other people, it doesn't look like people are looking to do. He could be looking pretty dangerous. Alright, here comes some starports over here. Starports over here. So we might be seeing some carrier battles coming up here. Let's go ahead and speed things up just a tad because it's still a 28-minute game if I remember correctly. So starting a little bit slow, people are sort of measuring, thinking about what they want to do. Blue at 33 workers. Or if you look at the worker count, Purple at 56 workers. Red at 65, so alright, so here comes Orange just deciding, let's just get this party started. So they attack Red. Red's got plenty to defend himself here. He's got a nice base. This is a lot of Dragoons, and there are 1-1s. His arms. Alright, so the battle rages on. Ooh, can bring some tanks over to this area. That would really make a big difference here. Alright, they're continuing to sort of set up in the middle. I'm trying to wonder to think. I guess they're just waiting to get their air armies going. Alright, here comes Purple to try to help out. He also doesn't have upgrades yet. Purple also getting stormed, so maybe we'll see some drops from him as well. Yep, we're seeing that be a possibility. I think Red might kind of abandon drops because... yeah, he's just trying to protect himself now. Alright, now Blue's doing what I thought they would want to do earlier, which is get the tanks over to sort of keep Red from being able to get out. Alright, Red's got +1s on his attack now. Alright, here comes Orange again. I'm not quite sure what Brown's doing. He went Alright, now he's getting carriers. Alright, so brown's getting carriers. Carriers are coming in from teal as well. So some air is going to start to be a factor here. In the meantime, orange is making some progress on fighting red. You see these tanks are here with vision. They're helping out. Brown's got a few units here. Alright, here come these Templar. These might be big. Templar, if they get a storm right on these guys, that could make a difference. Oh, and they do. Oh! And they kill most of them, but not quite enough. He has his Dragoons out. I don't know why he's backing them off. Like, go fight. Alright, now purple coming in to make sure that this is sort of cleaned up for red. And red really took some punishment there. Did we see purple drop? I'm trying to keep an eye on all these drops that are happening too. There's so much going on in 3v3s. Sometimes it's hard to see what's happening. Alright. With orange down to 27 workers, I think there might have been a drop that we missed. We'll see if purple continues them. Now he's getting Reavers out. And he's got the Corsairs. In the meantime, brown has that one Dragoon just shooting after that pylon, and these guys are letting it happen. Red's got nice coverage of observers there. So we'll be able to see what's going on outside of his base. Purple here. Man, look at the production tabs are just going crazy. Red's production tab. Purple's production tab. Does have a couple Templar in here. Orange at 32 workers, so he's a little bit... I think he was sort of slowed by that whatever drop purple decided to do. Alright, purple trying to move in to try to protect red. They're keeping the pressure on with tanks, and I think it's probably best for them to keep on the pressure. They're letting teal just build like a carrier army. Brown's not building them nearly as fast or in as much of a or much quantity. Alright, he's bringing them over to attack purple. This could take purple a little off guard, although only 4 of them with the Corsairs and the Dragoons would not be good. Alright, now I'm wondering, what's blue doing? They're trying to sort of defend this area over here. He's sending his ground units that he has. Probably just to max out on carriers. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Alright, they do have a bunch of cannons in the middle. Here comes an Arbiter. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Alright, that goes down. Alright, so now they're pushing in on purple. Purple doesn't have too much going on. Alright. Oh, another drop by purple, and he just completely takes out. You know what? We're just going to go back and check that out because I really want to see that. Excuse us while we back up. Look, purple came in while the carriers were there and was still able to land it. Wow, what a play by purple. The only thing is that purple's not getting pushed in, and he doesn't have upgrades on the Dragoon, so they're going to get beat. Alright, red now trying to push in on blue. Blue's got cannons, or yeah, it's got tanks everywhere. This is going to make it really hard for red to move out. Alright, so there's one Dragoon dead by the tanks. Alright, so they're moving out. Orange now really with a problem with his production. He's not going to be able to continue that assault. Brown's got the carriers, but he's sort of just using them defensive. I think he's waiting to get more. I mean, he's got a decent amount of them, but this guy's just got a ton. And we're seeing the air weapons coming in from both guys. All right, they've got a lot of air support there to defend against that, but we'll see what ends up happening. All right, so now purple and red trying to break through this. This is really important that they hold this area. All right, brown or orange now fighting this back. He's got some Dark Templar that should be helping out a little bit. All right, they break that, And here comes Brown now with the carriers from the side. He takes out the Arbiter building. He doesn't have... I mean, he's got these Dragoons, but he's also fighting Orange on this front. So this is a really good front. Oh, and the Arbiters freeze the carrier. Oh my goodness. But he's got another one that comes in. Teal now sending more units. I don't know if he's just sending these to get rid of them, or I think he's got to be sending them to get rid of them. He's just trying to get a full mass carrier army and just to end the game that way. Alright, here comes... Oh, is this going to be a big recall play? Oh my, what a play by Red! And this is definitely take Blue a minute to clean up. He's got tanks everywhere though, all over his base. Alright, so these Dragoons moving in, taking out what they can. Alright, here comes the big carrier army. And they're coming right for the command center. You can't even touch the command center, there's so many interceptors in the way. They're probably going to get it here. I can't imagine that you're able to heal this. And they do, they get the main one. But those... all those missile turrets and all those Goliaths are doing work. Alright, he's going to be supply blocked as well. Here comes Brown to try to support this. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Alright, in the meantime, Purple... Alright, so... Brown helps clean that up. He's going to be able to pop out more, but... he didn't take care of them very well there. Alright, now Purple moving in and taking out this middle defense. This is going to make Orange very vulnerable. Orange only at 16 workers. He's still trying to rebuild from all those drops that were happening earlier. Purple's finally got 1-1s on their Dragoons as well. Alright, Brown trying to move across to protect Orange now. Man, Jose Manuel is working overtime here. Alright, he's got the one carrier. Oh, the Arbiter's using that stasis. The stasis has been really, really crucial. Alright, so here he goes. He's got these Dragoons. Carriers versus Dragoons. Alright, here comes some Dragoon support. So they should be able to clean this up. But now he's moving in with an Arbiter and some more Dragoons. He's making his base very difficult to get into as well. He's got Reavers at the front. Alright, here comes Red with the big grouping. Alright, they look like they're going to push up together against this carrier army, and it's really just the carriers. Orange doesn't have much to contribute here. Blue doesn't have much to contribute here. At some point, I think Blue needed to move out of their base. They're just sort of stuck in their base. They need to move out and help. They've just sort of been sitting around. Alright, in the meantime, Purple and Red making a very dangerous push up to where Brown is. In the meantime, Teal just sitting there completely untouched, building more carriers. This is crazy. Alright, they're breaking through this middle. They've taken over the middle after not having it for about 20 minutes. Brown trying to protect Orange long enough for him to get up and going. He's got 25 workers again. He's coming out with Zealots to help clean up these Dragoons. It's actually pretty smart. Brown trying to get units. There's one tank up there. Here comes Teal up here. He's going to go right for the Nexus. This might be the back-breaking move right here. And the Nexus will go down. I mean, that's going to kill Brown's production, and Brown's really the only one that's able to do things. I really think that, like, why not build a bunch of Corsairs and Scouts and just start taking over the air that way? I think everyone was just rushing to get carriers. The lack of diversity, I think, was the problem. Alright, so, Purple moving in here with an Arbiter. He stasises. Oh, those stasis! Those stasises by the Arbiters have been crucial. It's really just sort of shut down Brown's ability to really make progress. He looks like he's on his last leg. Alright, here comes Blue. Blue's finally moving out of his base. He's got this huge mech army. There are 2 1s. Alright, here comes a big Arbiter. Recall, probably. And a drop by Purple. Oh, the drop was stopped, but the Arbiter recall was not. Wow, the Arbiter play was incredible in this one. Alright, so they're cleaning up Brown here. He's still trying to sort of hang in. Go ahead and speed up this process because this sort of seems like a foregone conclusion here. Alright, here comes Red continuing to just move in on Blue. Brown trying to send some support in. Really good job by Purple to even have a drop to help Red there. This guy Purple has been playing really well. Alright, he sends an Arbiter up. Now Teal's just like, why not just send the Dragoons? Dragoons of all colors, come and finish the game. Brown still got those things stasis. I mean, that stasis lasts for forever. I mean, that's crazy. Alright, so they continue to slowly and steadily move in on Brown. Orange now. He's gotten back up and going. He's got 31 workers. He's trying to push in with Blue on Teal. Okay, so they're doing a little bit of a counterattack here. I like that. He's got so many cannons. Oh, look at that. All those cannons right there. He is getting on the production. This is a pretty good assault that they're putting together. Orange's units are wiped out, though. Brown's still got random carriers all over the place, units all over the place. He's slowly getting taken out. They're making some progress here. There's just too many carriers, and the Arbiters make it even harder. Wow. So they clean up this counter assault. Brown looking like he's on his last legs. He does have buildings all over the place, so he's not... I mean, these cannons are still doing work. Alright, Blue continuing to put pressure on Teal. Gotta like what you see. Alright, now Red taking over the middle with cannons. He's doing his best to make a push here. He's got 3 3s on the attack. And 1 on the plating. He's got Wraiths coming in. Alright, Purple moves in on Orange, and Orange leaves. Brown's not going to be too far behind. Now it's just the assault on Blue. There's another Arbiter recall on top of all of those. Oh my goodness. Recalls and stasises and Arbiters, all mine. Alright, Brown trying to hang in with that one last carrier. Blue just sort of getting gutted from the inside out. Pretty good game there. I think Blue could have been maybe a little more aggressive earlier on. Took him too long to sort of move out and do something. But that other team kept very good pressure. And like I said, it was team number 2 that won. Better APM. But really, really good game. Love seeing the Arbiter plays. You got to see a lot of different units for Protoss. The only thing I would have liked to have seen is maybe a little bit of counter to the air for Teal. We saw Wraiths come out, but I would have liked to see some Scouts come out to just sort of fight those off. Scouts are really good against carriers, and they're just sort of useful otherwise too. So, all right, well, thanks for joining me. Looking at a lot of the replays, a lot of the replays I have left are some of the longer, more interesting ones. So there should be some good ones coming up. But enjoy your Sunday and the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you on the next replay.